Hey, good evening, Antoinette. I thought I would make a quick video before I get into work. Because I decided to misread my schedule and show up 4 hours early for work. Well, 3 hours early, so I'm sitting here 30 minutes beforehand, being like, okay, I'm bored. But Anita Sarkeesian, holy shit, she just does not practice what she preaches, because she preaches all the time anti-harassment, anti-bullying, like against anti-feminist ideals, or I not that, but she's so against this stuff, but only when it's in her favor. But when she does it, it's okay, she's just defending herself, when in fact a group of shitlords at her panel at VidCon didn't do shit, didn't say anything, didn't ask questions. They just sat there peacefully and quietly listening to what she had to say. And mind you, I think it was something like a couple dozen shitlords and their significant others were there, sitting in the first 3 rows or so, being just there. They didn't do anything. They didn't say anything. They didn't do shit. And I've watched Mundane Matt's account. I've watched Honey Badger's account. I've watched Sargon's account. I've watched so many other people's accounts of the situation, and it's freaking hilarious. Like, this is something that Anita is constantly preaching against, being, you should not bully them. You should not say something about them in a negative light, because that can be construed as harassment. And what does she do? She eyes this section of the audience and identifies at least one of them. Mundane Matt thinks it was him, and she definitely mentions Sargon within, or at least in either just mention the section as a whole, saying that there's this one person that makes shit videos. There's this one person that is just an absolute garbage human being. And isn't that exactly what she says you don't do? I mean, this is an anti-harassment panel. Like, yes, it was a Women of YouTube panel, but there are plenty of women shitlords on the internet. Just look at Shoe on Head. Look at Blair White. Look at Jacqueline Glenn. These are people that are against this hypocrisy of the feminist ideology. And I'm not talking about feminism as a whole. I'm talking about feminists like Anita Sarkeesian and the rest of those that were on that panel. Because they just, from the questions that I saw from the videos, because I'm not at VidCon, because I'm too broke to be at VidCon, they easily dismissed them. And it wasn't the fact that they even, some of the questions they didn't even acknowledge. They're like, oh, that's a stupid question. I'm like, they're there to answer your questions. And you, Anita, and the rest of the panel are just like, oh, that's a stupid question. Go away. We don't want you. You should be able to answer it with some reasonable answer. You shouldn't just be like, oh, you have a stupid question because we don't think we need to answer it. Really? That just makes you look worse than you already are perceived. I really hope that this screws up your image even worse than it already is. I hope VidCon, Hank and John Green both look into this and realize that you should not be invited back for more panels. And I hope to God I see something from the anti-bullying panel you are on with Boogie today, and seeing what occurs out of that. Because I know the shitlords are going to go to it. I don't know when it is, but I know that there's going to be shitlords there. And I hope Boogie calls you out for what has happened at your previous panel. I hope I see something. I haven't seen anything yet, so I don't know. Obviously, I'm at work, so I'm not going to see too much. But it's sitting here like, why are you being so hypocritical? And why is it so difficult for you to take criticism and immediately convert that criticism into your victimhood mentality? Criticism is not harassment. Criticism is trying to make you better as a person. Everybody gets criticism. Some of it's constructive, some of it's constructive, some of it's not. But it is still criticism. It's not harassment. It's not putting you down. It's not bullying. It is criticism of your hypocrisies, your fallacies, Like, it just so much stuff that you just dismiss because you don't agree with it. So, again, I'm just dumbfounded by how amazing this worked, because none of the shitlords had to say anything for you to react. You are triggered by them just being in the audience. And that is freaking hilarious. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down below. And if you're at VidCon, let me know your story, because this is just hilarious. See you guys later.